to make a Brazilian dish called Bobó de camarão. And if you like it, go ahead and hit that like button, and I hope you also subscribe. So this is a stew. It's a Brazilian stew with like coconut milk and fish. Usually I just make it with shrimp, but this time I'm gonna make it with shrimp and tilapia. So if you go ahead and, here's all the ingredients I've already got them prepared. We've got onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, lime, tilapia, and shrimp. And then I've also got coconut milk. And this ingredient here is a specialty ingredient. It's called azeite de dendê. It's a palm oil. It's used in certain regions of Brazil. It's going to give the dish kind of a special flavor. And what I've also done is I took some manioc. So there's different names for this: manioc root, yucca root. What it depends on the store that you're at. You can find it. It looks like this. This is what it looks like in your grocery store here. I don't think enough people in the United States work with this. It's delicious. You can fry it up like French fries. You can cut it and mash it like mashed potatoes. It's delicious. So we use this as a thickener and also to add flavor. So what I did is I peeled the skin off of it and cut it into about 4-inch pieces, and then I put it in the oil or the water here to boil for about half an hour or so, 40 minutes. If you have a pressure cooker, it's way easier. I have one, but I don't know, I didn't use it today. It takes like 10 minutes in there. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so we've got some lime here, and I'm just going to marinate the shrimp with a little bit of lime juice. I'm gonna squeeze that in there. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna add these ones in there. I'm gonna cook these separately, but just add them in right now so they can all get a nice seasoning together, just for a little bit while I'm doing the other parts. Okay, I'm gonna touch this with my fish hands. Okay, put some salt, and then just mix it all up. Okay, and now that's just gonna sit there, hang out, and marinate for a while while I do the next parts. Okay, so I've got my my dish here heating up. I'm just gonna put in probably about a tablespoon of the azeite de dendê, the palm oil. Just let that heat up for a second, and then I'm gonna add in my my onions. Just move this a little bit closer so it's easier. Spoon. See, the palm oil gives it a nice yellow color, and the flavor is I mean, if you don't have this one, you could use olive oil, but this flavor, it kind of gives it an earthy, sort of sweet, a real unique flavor. It's hard to describe, so let me smell it and see if I can give you a better idea. It's almost woody, I guess you would say. I don't know, that doesn't sound too appetizing, but hey, trust me, it's delicious. So we're gonna let this cook just for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna add in the bell pepper and the tomato next. Frying up, I'm gonna start adding this to the blender. This has been cooked, like I said, just until softened, so you can see it's kind of falling apart, which is a good thing. And if I didn't already say it, I'm going to put all of the quantities in the comment box so you can know how much of each thing I'm using. Okay, and so this, if you just blend it like this, it's going to be super thick. So what I like to do is just put in probably about a cup, half a cup of the liquid, the boiling liquid, and that'll loosen it up. So right there, that was probably half a cup. And if we need more, we can add more. I'm just going to set this aside. You can smell that palm oil. Okay, so that we already got going. So now I'm going to put in the green bell pepper. Just to fry up a little, soften a little bit before we add the tomato. Okay, and then I'll grab some salt and put that on here as well. Sort of season at every stage, folks. A little bit of salt there. Okay, and then again, while that's continuing on, I'm gonna go back to the blender. So what we have here is the coconut milk. I'm gonna put that right in there together. Gives it a nice coconutty, rich flavor. Goes great with the seafood. And then we're gonna blend this up. It's hot, so you wanna make sure this isn't sealed or else you're gonna get an explosion. So let that just up a little bit. And then you can take, there's like a stocky, woody part in the middle of the yucca root. You can take that out if you want, but it's not necessary. Okay, so just mix this up. Oh, you can hear the blender struggling. That means it's pretty thick. So let's add some more of this water. I think it's better to have it a little bit on the thinner side rather than the thicker side, because you can always cook it down a little bit if you need to. See here, it's almost like a slushy, like if you went to Jamba Juice or something. So okay, we're gonna leave that aside and go back to this. See, that's frying up nicely. You're getting a nice fond on the bottom there. Smelling delicious. And what I'm going to do is just toss in the tomatoes now. And I'm also going to put in some garlic. You can see that tomato juice is kind of lifting up that fond on the bottom there. Just pull that liquid over and it'll help to release that fond. Whoops. Okay, and I'm gonna put some garlic in. I'm lazy to cut it up myself, so I just get the ready to go stuff. You can put however much you like. I like to put a lot. I'm a garlic-y kind of guy. Okay. So while that kind of starts to marry and whatnot, we're gonna go ahead and make some rice to go along with this. Fry it up a little bit here. I'm gonna put in the shrimp in the lime juice and all the seasonings and whatnot. That's just gonna cook the shrimp first. I took the fish out because that cooks faster. I'm just gonna kind of poach that in the liquid once I add everything in together. The shrimp takes a little bit longer, so that's what I'm putting it in right now. So we'll let this go just for a couple minutes until the shrimp looks pretty much cooked through, and then we'll add in this part here. Okay, so I was cooking the shrimp and then I figured something spicy would be good, so I cut up a little bit of jalapeno. I'm gonna put that in. In the future, you could put hot sauce, or if I were to do it again, I probably would have added this along with the bell pepper, but whatever, it's all right, it'll still be good. So shrimp are cooking along. Threw in a little bit of jalapeno to give it some spice. You can see it's got that nice golden golden color from the palm oil. And those tomatoes are cooking down. Shrimp are just about cooked. Turn the heat up just a little bit, let that sizzle. We've had the shrimp cooking there up a little bit. Looks like it's just pretty much about good to go. What I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of water in here to loosen up that fond that we have on the bottom. Just get all those nice little delicious parts incorporated. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. All that is flavor there that we're scraping up. Okay, so now shrimp is pretty much cooked. What I'm going to do is add in this part, the puree, and I'll let you see the consistency here. Looks pretty good, huh? And you can always loosen it up a little bit if you want with more water or something, but I think it looks pretty good like that. That's just how you want it. It's a thick stew. We're gonna put it over rice. So you can see that orange color there from the palm oil. So we're just gonna give everything a good mix. I'm gonna bring it up to a boil, and then I'm gonna let the fish. If you've noticed, I haven't added the fish in yet. So I'm gonna let the fish come to sort of a poach in here and just gently cook so it's nice and moist still. It's not overcooked or dry or anything. So I'm just gonna put a couple more drops of this in there, just to give it a little bit more of that typical color, that pink, the golden color. And then I'm gonna add in some cilantro. I love the flavor of cilantro. If you want to use parsley, go for it, but I like cilantro. Okay. Yeah, you can see that nice yellowish color. Get it all nice incorporated. Okay, so now we're just gonna wait for this to come to a boil, and then once it's boiling, like I said, we'll add in those the fish. Here, nice and deliciously. I'm gonna put some salt. I just tasted it, and it needs the salt. I didn't put any salt when it was boiling. The yucca root was boiling, so that definitely needed some salt. So you can just salt it and season it to kind of your taste. Okay, so this is boiling away. What I'm gonna do now is grab the fish. I had it left over on the side here, and you're just going to put this in here like that, just around the top. This cooks really, really fast, and it doesn't stay raw, so don't worry. So you put this on the top here, okay, and then we're going to just kind of push the pieces in a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna cover it with the top and let it go for another couple minutes, and then it'll be done. It's been a few minutes. Let's go ahead and turn the heat off. It's been bubbling away. The fish is definitely cooked by now. Look how delicious that is. And let's go ahead and make our plate up. So we got the rice right here. It's perfect and beautiful. I always like a crunchy bottom, so I'm gonna try to dig off that crunchy bottom. That's how my beautiful fiance Samara makes it for me. I always request. Look at that. I love it when she does it like that. It's my favorite. Okay. Okay, so you got the rice on the bottom. You can do this on a plate too, but for me, I like it in a bowl because it helps hold all the juices and everything in there together. Oh my gosh, this looks delicious. Okay. So we got the rice, and now we're going to get a better spoon right over here. You can kind of fish out the parts that you want. We got fish in there, we got the shrimp. Look how delicious that is. Just, fish, it's nice and flaky. You see that shrimp, perfectly cooked. So just like that, and then you can sprinkle some more cilantro on top, and then a squeeze of lime. And just like that, we have Bobó de camarão com peixe.